Good afternoon, everyone. The reason for this today and the reason I'm here is to brief you on some equipment of ours that's unaccounted for in the Victoria Police inventory. My goal is to make sure that the public is aware that this equipment is missing and what steps, if any, to take should the items be found by members of the public. Earlier this week it was learned that our crowd management unit, or our CMU it's called, could not account for some of its equipment. After an extensive internal search, which is still going on or just ending, and out of an abundance of caution, it is now my responsibility to inform the public that these items could be in the public realm. The item of most concern is a Remington 12-gauge shotgun that the CMU has to fire non-lethal munitions designed to disperse violent crowds. However, this weapon can also fire conventional 12-gauge ammunition. Of the items that are missing, this weapon is the source of our greatest concern and my highest priority to recover. Other items that are missing include tear gas canisters. I'm not sure of the exact number. 2 pepper ball guns and pepper balls, which are like paintball capsules filled with pepper spray solution. Only R1 rounds, which are non-lethal projectiles, not the R1 gun. Several tactical dark blue police-style vests designed to carry various munitions. These are not ballistic vests. All of this equipment is easily identifiable as either law enforcement or paramilitary in nature. If found by members of the public, it is important that we be called. If anyone finds these items or has any information about them, please call us or Crime Stoppers. It is this department's highest priority to recover these items immediately. Our second priority is to find out how these items went missing and how to prevent it from happening again. To that end, I have launched 2 separate investigations. The first is an investigation led by our detective division to uncover the circumstances leading to the disappearance of this equipment. The second investigation is being led by our professional standards unit to audit our internal policies and practices, then make recommendations to me. The Office of the Police Complaints Commissioner has been notified. They have opened a file and will monitor what we are doing. Clearly, this is unacceptable. Whether the items were stolen, improperly disposed of, or inadvertently misplaced, it is unacceptable not to know their current disposition. For that, I take full responsibility. I can promise, however, that we will do everything possible to recover these items and ensure that this does not happen again. We've also notified various other agencies that we work with, VIHA, our ambulance colleagues, the fire services, and other government agencies. I'll take any of your questions.
Since it was a number of items, is it your belief that it's a theft more than anything else? Because you said there's a number of police vests missing too. It's not something that you would sort of just leave at a scene.
We're not sure at this stage. Either there was a theft, they're misplaced, they could be being safeguarded by somebody that we don't know of yet. We just don't know. We're going to find that out pretty soon, though.
Is this typically a kit that's in a suitcase, or
it is
is this one disappearance or something?
No, these are items that were part of an inventory in one of our vehicles. Our problem is we are unsure over the exact period of time they went missing, unsure of the circumstances where whatever entry was, if there was, into this particular vehicle where the items were removed. We are very early at the stages of this investigation. My purpose today is that as I said, an abundance of caution, should these items be in the hands of someone inadvertently or by accident, I don't want people playing with these items. They could hurt you. Please call us, we'll recover them, and at the end of the day, and I'll brief you as this investigation moves on, we will determine what happened to these items, and I'm confident we're going to recover them.
So because you don't know the exact time when they went missing, there was nothing, I'm assuming, obvious, such as a window being smashed or any obvious sign of a break-in to that vehicle that immediately alerted?
No, you're right, exactly. So we don't have that kind of data yet. The investigation, as I said, is early. The detectives are working. I have 10 of my best people on this case. They're going to, I'm very confident they're going to come up with answers pretty fast. We'll see. There is no obvious signs of a break-in or a theft. At this stage, we just don't know. We found out about this yesterday, the day before, conducted a cursory search. Now we know that there is a chance they could be missing in the public realm. Thus, it's important that we notify the public. The worst scenario possibly in the world is some youngster gets a hold of one of these items and hurts themselves, and that we don't want that to happen.
How typically are these stored in vehicles?
Normally they're under lock and key based on the requirements necessitated by the criminal code, the storage provisions. We don't know. I'm not sure how the shotgun went missing. We just don't know at this stage. That's to be determined.
But are you saying that they're not supposed to be stored in cars?
Well, the weapons, when they're in a tactical operation, they're dispersed, they're used for certain locations, they are returned to certain places afterwards. We are about 3/4 of the way through an extremely rigorous, tight inventory control process. We have tags on all our equipment. These items were the last items to be tagged. It's unfortunate they weren't. That way we could determine exactly whether they were in or outside the building. So
I'm a little confused. Are you sure that they went missing from the car, or is that just an assumption because you can't find them?
I'm not sure.
And again, are they supposed to be in cars in the first place? Unless, of course, when you're on the scene, maybe, but after something is over, are they supposed to be returned to a lockup or something?
Some items are, some aren't. Some of them are stored here for routinely, and the vehicles themselves are stored behind a secure premises. When we need them quickly. But they've been called out on a number of occasions in the past few months where they would be in operational use. Our inventory processes now has simply identified the fact that they're unaccounted for. So,
do we know with the shotgun particularly when it was last accounted for, when it would have been signed out and out on the road?
We do know that, but I'm afraid I won't share that with you.
How many police vests were missing? You said that a number of them, but can you give us more numbers on number of vests? And is it just one shotgun, or is there more items here?
Yeah, no, there's just the one shotgun. I'm hesitant to give you the numbers. I don't want to get it wrong. I'm thinking there were 5. From the moment I was told about the 5 vests, 2 were found quickly in another location. There are, we're estimating, they're just some. They're the standard blue vests you see officers wear. These are tactical vests, not ballistic, but they're the tactical vests you see that crowd control officers wearing. What's
the process for signing out these pieces of equipment and also signing them back in, and how can you misplace these type of items?
There is a process. Obviously we're going to strengthen it, and that's underway as we speak. The inventory control systems will be part of what we are going to examine and we're going to correct. So I wouldn't get into any more details than that.
And just sorry, were we doing full inventory, and that's how we discovered these are missing? Like, you guys were on the ball going, hey, let's go over, what do we have where, and that's how we discovered this, or?
To a degree. These were, they were being inventoried for a certain purpose. The officer in question couldn't find what he thought he would, began a search and realized that more items were missing. I mean, I'm optimistic we would have determined it through another process very quickly, but he made the observation and triggered the process that we're into now, the dual investigations.
So that was yesterday or the day before?
Day before yesterday, and I was brought into the loop yesterday.
Are these items assigned to individual officers, or are these assigned to a unit? Yeah,
they're assigned out to the crowd control unit, and there are members assigned to the unit that have the control and the requirement to maintain them.
So you know which officer these items were assigned to?
Yes.
And what's with that officer right now?
Well, we're not here. We're not affixing any blame at this stage. Until we know what happened to these items, it's very difficult. But we will conduct a police act investigation to determine culpability. We just don't know. It'd be premature to cast any aspersions towards any one particular officer. This could be an inadvertent misplacement of the items. It could be a theft, a vehicle left open. There could be a lot of different options. We just don't know. It'd be premature at this stage.
So do you have at least an idea of a sort of a time frame, time window, an estimate of when this stuff all is missing? A rough time window, which I'm afraid I can't share with you.
Does that sound like trying to give you guys a way off the hook particularly, but for some context's sake, I mean, how many shotguns are there on the streets of Victoria right now? I mean, is one more create a huge new hazard for the public?
Well, one police shotgun in authorized hands is too many. These weapons are available through the licensing process through the federal government. Our dilemma is we own these, I own these, and for me to know that they're not where they're supposed to be causes me some anguish. So I wouldn't look at it from that perspective. I mean, you're entitled to that perspective. I don't look at it that way. This is an item that we should have in our hands. We don't. We're going to find out what happened, and we'll just take it from there.
What are the potential ramifications for a member to misplace his tactical gear?
Well, it depends. It depends what the investigation details. Once again, it's slightly premature to cast any blame. Investigation will show what it shows. It can range to a wide variety of issues, to no blame at all, inadvertency, to something more serious.
Wouldn't it assist the public in the most information available in knowing the timeline roughly of when these items went missing, so that if they saw anything suspicious, if they saw their friend with something they shouldn't have, they could know, am I thinking all the way back to December, or am I thinking in the last 3 weeks? Like, isn't there some sort of narrow?
Yeah, I'm going to allow, maybe when we're done, Mike Russell may be able to talk about that a bit. I'm not. I'm being very sensitive due to the investigation that's underway, but the issue is this, is if you're a parent or an adult and you are aware that you've seen something like this and you've been told a certain story of how certain people got in touch with it, please call us. We'd like to acquire these items back. Being in possession of them themselves could get someone into difficulties with us. Right now, we just want to get them back. We'll worry about that later.
How
Two more questions from the
concerned
chief.
How concerned are you that these items are in the hands of a criminal element?
Well, that's always an issue. That's one of the reasons we're here. That's not the overriding issue. We can deal with that kind of those kinds of things. My biggest concern is the inadvertent possession of any of these items by someone of tender years where they might hurt themselves accidentally. That is our worst fear. That's why we are pulling out an extraordinary effort as we speak to get to the bottom of these facts, to see if we can find these items. But our colleagues in this are you guys and the general public. They'll get the word out that we are looking. This is what happened. I'm not happy about what happened one bit, but we're going to do our best to find out what happened.